Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. 2006 Prius with 187,000 miles on the odometer. Active person with the bike rack. And he says that he has problem with cruise control. The cruise control will not work when the weather is very cold outside. It's not related to the engine temperature. He will say on the very cold days he will be not able on the long trip on the highway set cruise control. It will only work when it's warm weather. It will work flawlessly. So sure enough, he brought it today. It's outside probably 55. I was of course able to perform test drive with perfect functioning cruise control. So I'm scanning computer right here with this machine, and let's see what we have for a fault codes. I see transmission. The engine has 0 codes. So let's see the code there. It's a current, low voltage error, power supply fault. Well, no kidding. You know, you have underneath the hood and the fuse box. It's a jumping station. We made videos about it. Positive underneath the red cover, and negative used at one of the nuts from the strut. That's the best ground. So back to this. It went to 1203, which is still low, but this is exactly what this Prius is pulling on the 12-volt battery, so it is what it is. That's a big brake what I put there in the engine. No, excuse me. It's a B1421. It's from air conditioning. It's current passenger solar sensor circuit. Let's go look at it, gateway. It's the last one. Last one which has anything recorded. So there is in history, body ECU communication stop. It's a B1200. The next one is B1248 in history. AVC, LAN communication impossible. That could be related our problem. And the last one, B1271 in history, combination meter ECU communication stop. It could be completely related to the function of this little baby, which is right here. Because we know that combination meter stop working when you don't have that entire display. Also, you cannot use the cruise control. The cruise control is connected to many things which are really important. It communicates with a skid system. You will be not able to use, for example, cruise control if you are driving on the wet conditions or the snowy conditions when the skid ECU and ABS computer will be sending signal that the conditions are so bad. That will not work, definitely. However, we don't have any codes in ABS computer, so we can get out of this. We'll escape it, and now I will show you what is the most puzzling. The most puzzling is we have computer for cruise control, and if you look on the cruise control, there is pass no faults. There will be no stored codes. There will be nothing in it, and that's our problem. It will not give us any help. I hit a quick erase, and what did we end up with? We still have the one fault only, and that's remaining. That's the last one, and it will be that solar sensor circuit. maybe something sitting on top of it. Yeah, passenger solar sensor circuit that cannot or shouldn't affect the function of the cruise control on this vehicle. So I've disconnected everything from the vehicle, put the 12-volt battery through here on the charger while the vehicle will be here. The service, I want to help him out, the owner, and try to top off the battery, which is over there in the back. That's the problem with this light. Sorry for that, guys. I need to deal with this skylight. So you can see it's full of stuff. I try to switch off most of the stuff, like the lights on the ceiling and so on. So the battery will be not used. It's the only one, which is right here in the door. So we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Why? Because the number one reason why there could be intermittent malfunction will be that brake switch. As you can see, that will work flawlessly. There's no question about it. Number two reason, the main reason why the cruise control will not work, there will be problem with ABS system. ABS system measures the speed of the vehicle, so it's watching every single wheel, how it performs, and if there will be problem with one of the speed sensors, for example, the cruise control will not work. Absolutely. There will be no functionality. Again, most likely ABS light, warning light will be on. One of the speed sensors is bad. There will be codes. We can see in our scan there's absolutely, in history, there is 0 codes. There are no current codes, there are not history codes in the ABS ECU. So there's no problem there recorded. When he is driving in the cold weather and he says he cannot set it through the winter, if there was a problem with reading of speed sensors, it will be stored and there is nothing in the computer. The third most common reason for the cruise control not work is the switch itself. If you look at the switch here is the set button. If there was wrong, if there was a dirt maybe, and the switch was faulty, it could create intermittent function. And it's not like the owner doesn't know how to use it. He really came and he was not happy because he said, yeah, of course, I'm bringing the vehicle to you, and it perfectly works. And the switch itself could be faulty, just this part. It's coming into the vehicle through the spiral cable, which is behind this airbag. But again, we can rule out the spiral cable because there will be different codes recorded. If that was broken or it had intermittent function, the spiral cable, this will not work, obviously. He will be not able to set it. But he will have a lot of other warning lights and he will lose a lot of functions, and there will be a code for the airbag. In the ABS ECU there will be code too, so we can rule out spiral cable out of this possibility too. And look, the switch just works perfectly. But still, right, we don't see inside. It still could be a reason that when it's cold, this will fail, or there's dirt or bad contact. It could cause it. Of course, he will then be not able to see the light in the instrument cluster. And even Mr. Frog is saying, I don't know what to do with this Prius. Now, there is a little interesting detail in this whole story. I will use that common phrase based on my training and experience, and this is about the experience. Obviously, we don't touch that cruise control switch very often, do we? Why we will do that? However, I touched enough of them. I know how that button should feel. And when I'm listening to this, and the way it works, I will say it might be this button. It shouldn't be so loosey like that. They have a certain feel, right? Like Mercedes buttons, Volkswagen buttons, Toyota buttons have certain feel, and I will say this is kind of loose inside. Obviously there's nothing to open. This is a sealed unit, so I cannot just easily open it and clean it and look if there is some corrosion maybe on the or the spring which is there. It's off the spot, but I will suspect the switch. And now this is why I asked the owner when in the cold weather he drives this and he's trying to set it on and it will not go on. I ask a crucial question: will it go on in that instrument cluster or not? And he said no. The symbol in the cluster will not show up. So, considering everything what we discussed today, all the codes, the situation, the age of the vehicle, right? You see, look here, for example, cracks in the plastic. He's keeping it nice, he tries, but it's aged vehicle. If you look around, so considering all of it, I will point the blaming finger on the switch. It works today perfectly. That doesn't mean that when it's cold, wet, right? The vehicle was maybe in 32 Fahrenheit, freezing, and then he starts driving. I will say, if anything, I will try to blame the switch. And it's common, but it's also not unusual that these switches will have to be replaced. They get old, there might be dirt, or the contacts simply fail and the switch has to go. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Maybe some of you will use it for their own diagnostics of this problem or similar. If you like the video, please give it a thumb up and stay tuned. I have way more coming your way soon. I will see you later, my friend.